Let me get everything together while I'm waiting for y'all to get in here. I'm gonna change this.
All right. I see. I just switched my little headset because these ones right here work a lot better. Because with my other like little headset, you can hear all the noise of the truck. Obviously, I'm at work, and yeah, I just changed it up. This is my new headset. It blocks out a lot of the noise of the truck and all the sound. So I took the other ones out, and yeah. But yeah, if y'all seen the little title, everybody knows what's been going on with Jay and them. And it's the title is, does Jay Z have anything to be worried about? And I mean, if he did anything over Puffy's house that was suspect, I mean, even if he even slept with somebody at Puffy's house, right? Definitely, because you don't think that Jay Z, um, like you don't think Puffy would throw Jay Z under the bus? Absolutely, he would. I mean, because you got to think, Puffy is looking at a life sentence, a life sentence. And I don't know if you guys seen on like the first 48, them dudes tell all the time. We talking about real like tough dudes, real life gangsters. You know what I'm saying? They be on the first 48 telling on each other. As soon as they get in there, they don't even be in there long and they break down. You know what I'm saying? So you think Puff Daddy gonna sit in there? If he have any dirt on Jay, he not gonna say that to, you know what I mean, to make sure that he have a chance to get out one day. Because right now he's facing life, and if he don't have a big enough name to throw under the bus, absolutely he'll tell on Jay Z. So Jay Z better just hope that he had no dealings with Puff in that manner. You know what I'm saying? And then also I would think he would be smarter than Puff as far as having a bunch of incriminating evidence just lying around. But I think Jay Z, like, it just really depends on if Jay Z did anything. You know what I'm saying? But if he's depending on like, loyalty and all that, absolutely not. Y'all see the first 48, them dudes tell right away. They try to save themselves. Don't give a fuck about he don't give a fuck about Jay Z. He's trying to save his own ass. You gotta think this dude has been living a life of luxury for a very long time, living in a big house, and he's in this little cell, this concrete barrier, eating terrible food. Of course, he's if they even bring up that he can get out by dropping a thank you. If they can you know what I mean? If he can save himself by rolling over on Jay, he will. Absolutely. So just hopefully Jay Z was smart enough because it seemed like Jay Z kind of know how to move, that he didn't partake in that type of stuff. And but yeah, right now I and like what do y'all um the statement that Jay Z came out with? I think it was pretty powerful. He like, look, they're trying to shake me down because if you give one person payday, right, that's gonna set up all these other paydays. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Beautiful beer. Someone says hi. Uh, so if you give out one payday, you already know what that means. That's gonna be. You might have to after that give out 50 paydays. So he's like, yo, y'all not finna extort me. I'm finna be letting known that I won't be shook down, and I want the person that's being a not got identity concealed. I want them to reveal who they are. I like the statement Jay Z put out, but this stuff is still gonna affect Jay Z in a negative light. You got to think. First thing happens when this type of stuff happens, all your business partners and relationships are in jeopardy. Y'all heard with that one YouTuber? Yeah, he has nothing to do with this, but what Check said when he had a problem with his channel, he said by the time he was able to resolve it, it already knocked him out of the algorithm. So there's already damages, period. You know what I'm saying? Just from that shit initially happening. So Jay's gonna be in the same situation, and you see how fast Jay Z's like on top of it. He like suing old boy, like they pressing the line because he cannot afford to drag this out. Like normally, you'd be in a situation like this. If you're free, you'd be going through court for like 2, 3 years, dragging it out. He can't afford to do that because a lot of people are gonna want to distance themselves from Jay Z, like the NFL, whoever, right? If he doesn't clear his name quickly. So friend, okay, Marcia is a friend of you. Did y'all see this shit with Floyd Mayweather too? I seen they tried to get on Floyd Mayweather. He went out. Where did he go to? Somewhere again, and they try to like him up, but he had a security team on it, and yeah. So only thing I don't really like about how they coming at Jay and these cats is because I feel we all know that there are people that want something for nothing. And so now, because look, this alleged thing happened 24 years ago, right? We're talking about 24 years ago. You mean this barely started destroying your life? Like it ain't been like your father picked you up. Y'all didn't go to the police station. You ain't get I just I'm always like leery when like someone's trying to get money and they're bringing up a very old claim like that because that is serious. You would think that that would have been looked into. It would have been allegations made a long time ago. So I think the Me Too movement for me has been watered down. Like I definitely don't just be like, oh man, this dude's a scumbag. I'll be definitely knowing that so many people just come out the woodwork. And to me, it just lost its effect to me. Like, and it's jacked up because we know there's real victims out there, but I feel like a lot of people are opportunists, and they want something for nothing. They want what you have, and they're willing to throw you under the bus and put you through a whole bunch of shit just to get it. So I feel like if Jay has got did anything, um, that's gonna be Puffy's card, like because if we know Jay Z is a bigger figure than Puff Daddy, so like if we can get both y'all out of here, they would love to do that. So they may like, all right, we're not gonna give you a life sentence. We're gonna give you something that's gonna feel like a life sentence, but give us Jay. So Jay better hope Puff don't have any dirt on him because ain't no one built that tough, bro. Once they take away your freedom, right? You thinking about your own ass. Everybody trying to save themselves. You seen when Puff Daddy got arrested. Not that they should have, right? None of his friends spoke out in his defense. Nobody wants to be involved in that. And I hate how the media is like, yo, how come J Lo not saying like why are you throwing people's name in the mix? Maybe she ain't say nothing because she don't got shit to do with it. Don't got shit to do with her. Why does she need to come out and speak against it or anything? Like, look, she minding her business, doing what she got to do. Just because she dated a dude years ago, a long time ago, fuck does she need to be caught up in a mess for? But the media is so messy. They're like, oh, her silence is like deafening. No, motherfucker, that's you trying to throw wood chips in the fire. Like, bro, people don't get involved in shit when it don't. It's not their business. That's a problem in real life that we seen. Even in the travel sector, people do not know how to mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Haven't anybody heard that saying, "Mind your own, live long"? You know what I'm saying? People just gotta learn how to mind their business. But like I said, I'm not really just thinking Jay's guilty and all that. I'm thinking first thing they wanted was what? Some money. They didn't come after him criminally. They came after him like, yo, give us some money and this don't have to, we don't have to go to court and you don't have to be named. And they thought he would be fearful because what Puffy's already going through. Like, yeah, this gonna be an easy shakedown. But Jay's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going for it. And then you just trying to get a couple bucks. You don't know how that affects his relationship and things in the home, like his businesses and all that. So it's pretty unfortunate thing. And I feel like men these days have a targets on their back, not even just celebrities. Like it makes it so difficult now to if you are a successful male to really date in the States because the laws are so jacked up. You know what I'm saying? And we talking about somebody can make a complaint about you about something that allegedly happened 24 years ago. You know how long that is to be bringing something up? Like you barely, and then you bring it up around the time that Puffy's going through something. That definitely seems like it was just a ploy to get money, in my opinion. Just call it how I see it. But yeah. So, and we got to think like a lot of people think like, it's on him. He got a lot of money. Oh well, bro. These are people's lives that are being played with, tarnished. Their name. Once you have these allegations, your name is forever tainted. You know what I'm saying? You see what it's just sad though. Like the things people will do to get money. You know what I'm saying? That's why if y'all caught another live, I was talking about dudes that want to get married, make sure you get a prenuptial agreement. Protect yourself and your assets, right? Because it's just crazy. You work really hard to accomplish certain things, and they could be taken away in an instant. And you know, so you just gonna have to move differently. Cause some of these stuff that they thinking about, just think about, cause there's a lot of guys in this travel sector, right? How many dudes back in the day when you young or whatever have hooked up with a female or had a threesome or whatever? Now say you become successful and become a millionaire or become famous. Now they coming back and saying, "Look, I need some money, and yeah, I'm having SMD remorse, and yeah, I feel like when y'all ran that train on me, y'all took advantage of me. But at the time, she was down with it. She was excited to do it. You guys was excited to do it, but now you in a bunch of shit because of it. Like that's crazy, And then they try to because think about it. Anytime you go to a party, a house party, any type of party, what are dudes trying to do? Hook up with females. What are females there to do? Hook up with dudes. But now they're making it like, oh, I mean, I'm not saying that there's nothing, no validity with what's going on with Puffy because, they did come out with that domestic violent assault tape. And then also, if you putting shit in people's drinks unpronounced to them, obviously that is criminal. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't there. But as far as like coming back 24 years later, I'm just if I was a juror, I wouldn't give it a lot of credibility because I'm like, you need to come back a lot sooner. If this was something that serious, I wouldn't think you'd wait 24 years. We do know some victims do wait a long time, but it's just like I become doubtful when you wait so long to want some type of they might say, oh, but they were too powerful and all that. I get that, but I guess what I'm thinking is that you ain't even get no proof documented. You ain't even went and made a claim or accusation to where years later you might could revisit it. You just didn't say nothing. Now I can see like situations where you might work with someone, right? Like they're your boss, they're your employer. So you might not want to say anything because you are in fear of losing your job or losing this opportunity. I mean, that type of situation make it happen. But what up, who is that? Stuart? It says hi. Vanessa says hi. Uh okay. Brazil friend of EUA. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just sad, because it really affects the American dating culture. Because right now we got dudes traveling overseas to do what? Date women. Because just, and I'm not crapping on the women at all. I never um shit on American women, but I'm just saying the reality, dudes are leaving the states to date other women because of the dating market and the way the society is in the states. It's very like it's very tough, dating in the States. And so I think right now in the beginning, how they say be careful. The same thing that make you smile may make you cry. If you run too many men off of like right now, the women don't really feel the effect of it. But if you run too many of the men off, especially the men that do travel, typically are men that somewhat have their stuff together because to be able to travel you gotta pretty much have your finances together for the most part. And so you run away, the more the men that have more of their stuff back. The men that are typically left behind are the men of low value. I mean, more high value male are going to continue to leave, right? But anyway, this is more about what Jay Z is. Jay Z in any jeopardy or anything like that? Absolutely, because everyone's always looking to save themselves. Puff Daddy would, if he had any evidence against Jay Z, will definitely turn against Jay Z to save himself, because Puff Daddy's in a lot of trouble. So, um, but I think Jay Z, it's kind of hard to say did someone take the right approach, because you don't know. Hindsight is 2020. He could have paid, try to keep it quiet so more people don't come out. But then if he did pay and more people started to come out, could look bad. Like you settled, that makes you look guilty, blah, 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 blah. Now everybody, you can't afford to keep paying 50, 60 people. They want 30, 20 million from you. So he said, nah, I'm putting my feet down. I'm not letting people extort me. And this is going to be a no go. And so, I mean, shout out to him for taking such a strong stance on it. Because I feel like if he would have knew he was guilty, I think he would have been more in a rush to settle that and not let that come to light. You know what I mean? To try to kill that real quick. So the fact that he was like, nah, and he knows what Puffy's going through, the fact that he was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Not only am I not giving you nothing, I'm suing you. I feel like he feels confident that he didn't do anything that that person is alleged that he did. So, but it's still like a sad thing, because say Jay didn't do any of those things, his it's already going to be unrepairable damage to his name, to his business, to all that type of stuff. So I guess that's just food for thought, man. Like for the fellas, man, we gotta be a lot smarter about the things we talk about, the way we move, the way we carry ourselves, because you don't know when some shit you did 12 years ago, 15 years ago can resurface, because your status in life has changed. And now someone sees an opportunity to shake you down for some dough, or expose some scumbag shit you did back in the day and bring it to light. So we definitely want to be mindful how we move, and realize the time has changed. All that misogyny and all that shit is not gonna fly no more. You know what I mean? So the times have changed, and if you don't realize that and you continue to move in a way that's reckless, um, sooner or later that shit will catch up with you, and you'll be out here looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why even like on my YouTube channel, I'm trying to clean up the channel, or not even clean it up, because my YouTube stuff is fairly new. Trying to be conscious of like the material I shoot. You know what I'm saying? And realize once you put stuff out here on the internet, it's out there forever. You don't have the problem to take it down. There's people that screen record your shows, repost them, and all that other stuff. So once you put it on the internet, it's pretty much out there. So you do want to be mindful how you move it, man. We're in a different time, a different day. You cannot just run around here and think you will not be held accountable for decisions you've made. And it's just crazy to think that someone can go back and 24 years later, like if it um for anything I don't know, it just seems pretty odd that somebody could come back 24 years later accusing you of something. I think they need to have laws in place to where, if someone accused you of something and it turns out that they were not being truthful, that they will be punished for it. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody can bring a lawsuit. I can go sue Jay-Z right now. Just all I got to do is go file a suit. You know what I mean? And now you need a lawyer. You need to hire. So they need to have things in place when someone brings a frivolous lawsuit against you, that they will be punished, in my opinion. Maybe I think that eventually will happen because all it takes is for somebody to constantly abuse something, and then they typically will make corrections. But the way the government works, they overly correct it. So they correct it. Like for one, we know back in the day, women were being treated pretty shitty. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the rights they have now. So the government tried to fix that and make that right, but then they overly correct it, and now it's kind of like you can't even be a man. You know what I'm saying? So they need to the government, they just never get it right. You know what I'm saying? But we do know that, no one wants to see women get treated bad, trampled over, disrespected. Nobody's wanting to see that. But we also don't want to have a system that rewards bad behavior, or like, where you can just make shit up. In this case, do I know if this person that's filing something against Jay-Z is being truthful? Of course I don't know. I wasn't there. But just from with like they would go off the preponderance off the evidence in the lawsuit, right? Not reasonable doubt. But even with the preponderance of the evidence, I would just find it really difficult to believe that this happened 24 years. Your father picked you up. He didn't go back up there. He didn't call the police. He just what, took you home? And then you say you ran and got out of the house. No one noticed that you had your clothes in your hand. You didn't have all your clothes out, and you're trying to scurry out of there. No one noticed that. Um, and then like how she even got there. The limo driver said that he would come back and pick you up, and he likes young girls and this and that. Like all of that just seems really far fetched. Um, does it mean that it's not true? No, but it just really seems far fetched to me. Um, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Y'all in the chat, you know what I'm saying? I think it's the way the law's set up, innocent until proven guilty. It should be that for a reason. Is it typically really like that? No, because you could be slaughtered in public opinion. Because think about this. That thing with Puff Daddy, they purposely released that tape because you got to think these are high value males, black excellence. You know what I mean? So to to get people to realize that these people can make these type of mistakes, they put the tape out there. So now it's like, whoa, Puff Daddy, you really are a scumbag. So now it makes all these other charges way more believable. Versus if that tape didn't come out, it might have been more of an uphill battle to be, even though people have been saying Puffy's kind of freaky from years, but being freaky and then, assaulting people and doing stuff like that is a whole nother thing. So they definitely put that tape out strategically to be like, yo, don't let his celebrity status fool you. You know what I mean? So, and but then they'll tell him, we don't want to let you out because you were trying to influence people. And the government is doing the same thing too. They are trying to influence the public, the jury pool. A lot of people will hear about this and get them already looking at you like sideways. So it's just pretty funny. The R. Kelly, what did it say? R. Kelly was left with a 13-year old. R. Kelly was left with a 13-year-old. R. Kelly had his day in court and he was proven to be guilty. So that's a different story. We all just deserve our day in court to prove our innocence. Because, in the States, it's so easy to be charged with something. So we always want to hold that presumption of innocence till we have our day in court. R. Kelly had his day in court and came out that he was guilty. So, it's pretty much a wrap for him. I don't really got much to say about R. Kelly because that story kind of played out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not smart to be messing with underage women. Like even if the female is like, for example, she because I've just been finding out. I didn't know this that the age of consent is different in different places in the states, right? So depending on what state you're from, I used to think it was 18 everywhere. The legal limit was 18 and up. That's not the case. So in different states, they have the legal age of consent is different. But I would say if they even too close to like they just barely got legal, stay away from them. I mean, unless you are a young man, you in your 30s, stay if they 18, 19, you know what I'm saying, 20, stay away from them. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, what really do you have in common with somebody that's 18 or 19? Like, I don't get why you would even entertain it. Yeah, they legal, but just stay away from that. It's the same situation. You talking about the R. Kelly and Jay Z? I mean, yeah, but the difference between R. Kelly and Jay Z is R. Kelly has been found guilty. Jay Z ain't been found guilty of nothing. This is someone bringing up alleged charges from 24 years ago. What evidence do they have to really? I mean, that's just way different. He went through the legal. I mean, I think they even had not think they even had R. Kelly on tape. You know what I'm saying? That videotape, yeah, okay. No, the R. Kelly tape came out as a bootleg back then. Like, and yeah, I remember seeing that tape. And I remember thinking like R. Kelly, I think maybe he said that wasn't him. And I was thinking like, damn, that awfully looked a lot like you. But it was like I believe it was in like black and white or some shit. I can't remember because it was so long ago. It wasn't like a great video, but it was good enough to be like, yo, that looks like R. Kelly. I couldn't tell how old that girl was from the video, but she definitely looked like a younger female. And yeah, so that was pretty wild. He never changed the girl was sent to Germany with her family. Okay, wait, he was never charged. The girl was sent to Germany with her family. Right. But yeah, that's why I said, man, it's really no telling what these dudes be into. And sometimes maybe you know what they say, man. You start making a lot of money. You may feel you could do anything you want, but we live in a nation where there's laws, and if you break those laws, you could be in a lot of trouble. Um, so yeah, I definitely think R. Kelly didn't learn his lesson either because after he had been like accused before he got charged, and he was accused of messing with like young women, and they were talking about it, he continued to stay in the presence of very young women. Like, you playing with fire, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, once somebody already accused you of doing something, like call you out on doing something criminal, and you continue to do it, or um, it's kind of like playing with fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might want to, take heed. But we do know that you can addiction can be in any form. You could be addicted to young women. You could be addicted to working out, making money, you know, drugs, whatever, right? Addiction is it gambling. There's so many forms of addiction. So, he could have had just a real problem, you know what I'm saying? And so even though he knew that people were starting to talk about it, look, they said when a Puffy got arrested that he had drugs on him too, I think, like something like that. So you out here because they might arrest you and you still got some type of drugs in your possession, bro. What are you doing? You're not using your brain. And so that's pretty crazy. That's the last thing I'm gonna do. Be walking around having drugs on me, knowing, and they just arrested a dude that's associated with me for drugs. Why do you have any drugs in your possession, bro? Um, but I guess it's almost like people that drink and drive. You get away with it for so long, and you think that you will continue to get away with it until one day you in a situation. And so, I mean, that's really what it. I think that's really what it boils down to. You get away with stuff so many times that you really don't think that you will ever get caught. You know what I'm saying? So, because yeah, that's just how people think. They always think like, that's him. It will never be me. You know what I'm saying? Or that's sad that that happened to that person, but it's just so far removed that that could be them as well. And that's why I'm always conscious about like tearing people down right away just because I heard something. Because um, it's real easy for somebody to spread a rumor about you. And so you keep running with this rumor. What about if somebody spread a rumor about you? So you're not going to like it. And then it's hard to combat that rumor because once it gets repeated so many times, it becomes the truth in people's minds, right? But in life, we all got to know there is no honor amongst thieves. So if you do some dirt with somebody, just don't say they snitched on me. Now you told on yourself because the only way to do anything and really have a chance of getting away is to do it by yourself, unless you're gonna tell on yourself, right? Um, so if you have a co-defendant, we all know how that's gonna play out. That nobody cares if they're gonna get caught a snitch. They care about spending a bunch of time incarcerated. That time is you or me. People are going to tell. That's a fact. They got a whole show about it and people still fall for it. Think about it. They've came out with a whole show to show you that people tell all the time how it works. First 48. You know what I'm saying? And people continue to they and you watch the show and you still fall for it. They even had the Chris Hansen show, right? With those dudes messing with these young girls. They have a whole show on it that the police set people up and you go there and you get caught and then you find yourself on that show after you done watched it because you think it's never gonna be you. And people will lie to themselves and trick themselves just to get what they want, right? Um, and so I just say, stop thinking that it can't happen to you. It for sure can. You know what I'm saying? If somebody even starts to mumble stuff about your name, self-evaluate. Like, yo, they saying I'll be entertaining a lot of young women. You might want to check yourself. When somebody don't just let that fly over your head. That means someone has noticed you doing something that may be inappropriate. You might want to make some corrections. Um, Even if you're not messing with underage women, you might want to like just bump that number up. You know what I'm saying? Of the women that you are entertaining. Um, yeah, so those is kind of my thoughts on the Jay-Z thing. I don't think Jay-Z is guilty because I don't have enough to go off to suggest that he is. Right now, it's just allegations, and they seem pretty weak. They seem like somebody is trying to attach this Puff Daddy situation and tie him in because they know it could be an easy way to get money right now. There's gonna be a lot of more people to come out and stuff. But remember, attack on one. They had this one joke where like I don't know if you guys, I can't remember it exactly, but it was about like farm animals, and then there was like when they took when they took the pig to the slaughtering house, everybody didn't care. They just wanted the pig, but then the next day, they wanted steak, and then they took the cow, and then the chicken didn't care because they took the pig. Then one day eventually they wanted the chicken. Like if you are on a if you are in a situation to where um you see that this is a situation, they might be dealing with somebody right now, but don't mean that you're not going to be called out next. So you might want to reevaluate the way you move, the way you think, the way you talk, the way you handle yourself, because something that you think is little or nothing. And then I remember too when I was growing up, my father always told me, right? He said, "You better know how much time um you better know how much time the law you break and carry, because sometimes you could be breaking the law and not think it is as serious as it really is, right? So before you break that law, you better know how much time that law carries. No, you better know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? um so yeah, man. And for me, I even had said something on another video back in the day where where dudes was like, yo, um I'm importing these let me see to the chat. What it do, Carter 4? Yeah, so even to the guys that's walking around thinking that they importing these joints and they dress it up with a cute word, you might want to look back and think what you are really doing, what the government will classify that as. Fuck what you classify it as. What does the government classify what you're doing? They not gonna call that. They not gonna call it important nothing when you get to court. They be calling that shit something totally different. So you might want to think about what you are doing. Stop lying to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Stop lying to yourself and think about what you're doing, because sometimes these things really think like they feel like small things until somebody puts a spotlight on it, and then you's like, whoa, I'm in a lot of shit right now. You think Puffy thought he was really doing wild shit back then? He was talking about it on TV. He was going on people's shows, talking about how wild his party is and this and that. And he was talking about it openly because he didn't feel he was really doing anything wrong. And it turns out the stuff he's being accused of doing, he could get a life sentence, right? Um, so we definitely want to be stop tricking ourselves thinking what we are doing is not that big of a deal. If the government thinks it's a big deal, it's a big deal. You know what I mean? So, like I said, you could call anything that you are doing something else, but when you in front of the judge and you in the court and the prosecutor bringing up these charges, like, have you seen somebody they could like break one law? You think they break one law? They did something, but by the time that the government get done with you, you got like 8, 9, 10 charges. They call it trumping up charges. You did that. You didn't even know this one act. You broke so many laws by just doing this one act. You thought it was just one thing you did wrong. Nah, it turns out you done broke 9 different laws. And so when people get in them situations, and we talking about dudes that have a lot of money and they're in a lot of shit right now. Cause sometimes even the money, I mean, imagine, and you don't even got that type of money if you end up in no trouble. So imagine what's gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I just for myself was it's just a reminder. You know what I mean? Like in the moment, something can seem cool, something can seem fun, something can seem harmless, but you never know how that's going to age. Because the way things are now in society, 10 years from now, they're going to be different. The laws are going to be different, right? Society is going to be different. So you have to remember when you are moving, you got to be more far sighted. You know, a lot of people are just thinking about here and now. All right, thank you. Um, yeah, so a lot of people they're just so short sighted. Let me fix this real quick. We about to get on that good road. You feel me? Let me see something. I was actually just sitting here waiting for my load to be ready, because even though I got here, it just wasn't ready on time, and so I had to kill a little bit of time. But they said it's ready for me to snatch up, so I'm about to hit that. Yeah, but yeah. So just be mindful of the decisions you make, because one decision today can affect you years to come. You know what I'm saying? Just one bad decision for today. So we definitely just want to be mindful and think about what we are doing. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody has mentioned something that you know that you were doing that ain't right, don't just brush it off and be like, "Yo, they hating, they this and that." You know, especially if it's criminal. Take heed, because that's one person that noticed. All it take is the right person to notice or enough people to notice, and you could be getting called out on some shit. So just be smart out here, man, because everybody's tough until they lose their freedom. Then ain't nobody tough then. Everybody at that point is like, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that before you end up in a lot of trouble. You know what I'm saying? You need to think about that way before. Today's day is, let me see something real quick. I think it's hold on. 1 second. All right, cool, cool, cool. All right, y'all give me 1 second. Yeah, so we definitely just want to be a little more mindful. So right now, I do have to kind of like blot out my camera a little bit because We already know how this YouTube stuff goes. If y'all still rocking with me, cool. If not, I just need a second. Hold on. Yeah, but I know y'all can still hear me. I just need to black out the camera because I don't need people all in my business. Uh, I need to go check in real quick so I can just grab this trailer, and it's not gonna take that long. But yeah, so shout out to everybody in the chat. Thanks for hitting the like button as you come in. I really appreciate it. As you can see, I'm over here multitasking at work and coming live. You know, coming at coming coming live. Let's see. I wonder if I should just. All right. So y'all really can't see much in here. But yeah, so right now I got my little vest on. We gotta have a vest where I'm at, and just waiting to check in real quick so I can grab this little paperwork and be out. And so yeah. But yeah, so like I said, man, make sure you guys, whatever you guys doing, like right now, I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I am not letting you guys see too much. You have to be mindful of stuff you're doing. You know what I mean? Because you just never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Well, what else y'all got for me? Go ahead and get in the chat, man. Y'all rock out in the chat. I'll read some of you guys' comments. All right, hold on. All right, I wonder if it's loud. Can y'all hear all this noise in here? I don't know. But yeah, I was trying to get myself situated so I could check out of here and get rolling. I could set the phone out once I get back to my truck. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But yeah, I'll just be patient. Patience is a virtue. But yeah, man, I'm on the night shift once again, and it sucks, but this is my last day at work. So once I get through this, it'll be cool. Um, yeah, so okay, hold on. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. I went live just to kill a little time, but now I had to figure out what's good. All right, hold on one second. Y'all gonna have to hear me, and I just need to cover my stuff up real quick. I'll talk to you guys, but I just gotta cover this up real quick. 3:48. All right, but yeah. So like I said, man, in life, make sure that you are mindful of what you're doing, and you know, just be careful out there, man, because the world is becoming a very tricky place. Very tricky. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to be mindful of how you're moving and the decisions you're making because you know it don't take much to get into a bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's very difficult to get out once you're in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would suggest. All right, cool. I can put it back now. I don't really think there's much to look at. All right, but yeah, just be mindful of like the decisions you're making. You know, we have to be mindful because something little could turn into something major, real easy. You know what I'm saying? So Just make sure that you're being mindful because this is not only your well-being. Look, Jay-Z's in a bunch of shit, but guess who's dragged into that? His family, his wife, his children. He's responsible for a lot of people, and so all of that stuff's like in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody made some allegation against this dude. And it's messed up. They can not only make an allegation against you, you don't even know who they are. He's filing something to even figure out who it is that's trying to come at him like this. You know what I'm saying? They anonymous right now. So, it could be a tricky situation. I definitely see why dudes like and find, dating outside of the country to be a good alternative just because it is so tricky in the States, not just with getting in trouble, like we already talked about on another live, your finances, whether that be, you know, uh, what do you call that? Alimony, child support, stuff that typically be ruining dudes' finances because, I think for the most part, dudes don't mind paying child support or supporting are taking care of their responsibilities. It's just when you're in a situation like that, you have people fighting and dividing up your money, and it might not be the amount that you agree with, amount that you can afford to part with, right? And so, so you got to really be mindful. Like, that's why me, when I be at, if I'm not taking care of business, I'm at the gym, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm constantly evaluating my circle of friends. Like, there's like people that I constantly like stop hanging out with, stop chilling because you outgrow situations. You outgrow people. You know what I'm saying? And people expect you for you to be the same. Like, yo, we did this. Like you might have friends that they haven't outgrew being in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? And they still think that, at you guys' age, that they remember how you was acting with them in your 20s, and they come along and they're still stuck in that time zone. And then you have grown up, you have matured. You know what I'm saying? And so you don't think the same way. And they think that you changed, but you have changed. People will continue to change. I mean, you don't think the same when you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't changed, that means you haven't experienced any growth. But to just kind of get back focused on the topic, does Jay Z have anything to be worried about? Absolutely. Right now, his finances is in limbo. This could take a heavy blow to his finances, and possibly we don't know if criminal charges could be filed down the line. I mean, it started off the same with Puffy. First, somebody saying they wanted money if he wanted to settle. He didn't decide to settle. They took it, brought it to the public. They took it to, and then that opened up a whole nother can of worms. Absolutely, because these are serious charges. Even if you are innocent, these are serious charges. So absolutely, you got something to be worried about. You have a lot at stake. You know what I'm saying? And like that's why in my life, I always try to make decisions based upon me, how I feel about it. Fuck what's going on, what's cool. I have to evaluate what's good for me. You know what I'm saying? Because what up, Bville East? Salute. So you just came in here, Bville. We've been talking about just a recap. Does Jay Z got anything to worry about? I've been saying absolutely because we got, like they said, they got that show First 48. People tell on each other all day. And you talking about celebrity dudes that's used to living in wealth, luxury, big homes, eat whatever they want, go wherever they want. You are now confined to this small ass dirty cell. You feel me? With the food conditions being pretty harsh. Do you think he wouldn't drop a dime on Jay-Z if he had some dirt on him to try to get a reduced sentence or try to get to save himself? I mean, it probably wouldn't stop him from doing prison time, but if he could turn in Jay Z, it would stop him from doing a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely, there's no honor amongst thieves. People telling each other all. It's just funny to me when people say, "Oh man, this cat snitched on me." I'm thinking like, no, idiot, you snitched on yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you do a crime with somebody, you pretty much told on yourself. Because you know if you guys get caught, that person's going to tell on you. You know it. Or if you do a crime and you post it online, and then people start talking about it, and you say, "Oh man, you snitched." No, no, no. You told on yourself. You documented a crime that you committed. How stupid could you be? Um, so I mean, but people, that they do a lot for likes and views and stuff. But documenting criminal activity is dumb to me. You know what I'm saying? And then once you do that, you can't say anybody told on you. You told on yourself. That's why even on here, when like I've been learning as a new content creator, cause you be wanting to rock out with the chat and stuff and answer you guys questions. But if I've just been learning now, if you guys ask me something that's like, come on now, instead of getting up frustrated about it, I'm just not gonna answer it. You know what I'm saying? Cause I know in my mind everything you guys ask me don't deserve an answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that that happens a lot over here, but that happens a lot just in line. I mean, a lot just period on the internet. People will ask you compromising questions or retarded questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, so those kind of questions that people just ask me weird questions and expect for me to talk about certain stuff online and stuff. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna skip over your question and then wait for you to ask a better question, and then I'll just answer that question. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna answer every question you guys ask me because it's just not wise to. You know what I'm saying? You guys might ask me something simple like, "Where do I work at?" And I'm not gonna answer that question. That don't deserve an answer. I can tell you about trucking. I can't tell you about the name of the company that I specifically work for. We'll just keep it as simple as that. But that anywhere from as simple as that or worse shit. You know what I'm saying? Certain things I can't disclose. Where do I live? What kind of house do I live in? This and that. What kind of car do I drive? I kind of already slipped up and said that once, but I make sure that I don't show the outside of my vehicle. You know what I'm saying? You guys seen the inside, but certain stuff we have to we cannot give out. You know what I'm saying? It's just and it sucks because we really do be wanting to rock out with you guys and go over like whatever. Like, all right, I rock with y'all, but it's just not in our best interest to answer certain questions. Hold on one second. I'll give me 1 second. I'll put the phone back up in a second. That's the one I'm looking for, I think. Yep, that's it. Um, yeah, I just keep putting the phone down, obviously, because I have to guard some of my personal stuff. I don't want people to be able to figure out where I work at, so I do have to guard some of my stuff. So I can get. But I'm about to be out of here in just a split second. I was waiting for this dude to move this trailer where I can, cause they have trailers like at the dock, and we're not allowed to grab them from the dock at this specific place. We got to wait for a yard hostler to move the trailer to the other side, and then I can grab it. The reason why they don't want us doing that because they have forklift drivers that go in and out that load up those trailers that's connected to the building, and just to prevent something going wrong, like you hooking up to the trailer and pulling it out from the door when you're not supposed to, and somebody was going in and out of there unloading it. So they don't allow us to pull. Some places do allow you to, but this place don't. So I gotta wait for someone that works for the place that I'm at, like one of the yard hustlers, to move it to the other side where I can grab it, which this dude just did. Once he disconnects from it, I'm about to connect to it and be out of here. I know that's kind of a lot, but that's kind of what I got going on. And yeah, so another day at work on the grind. I want to show you guys what these yard hostler trucks look like. If I get a chance, I might show it to you. If I could show it to you without compromising stuff that I don't want you guys to see. Uh, you guys might already know what it look like, but just for the people that don't, um, because they don't really look like semi trucks. You know what I'm saying? They look different. Uh, You know what I'm saying? All right, let me. So right now, I'll just describe to you guys what I'm doing, even though you guys can't see. So I just backed into the trailer. Now I am outside of my truck. I left my phone behind, and I am hooking. I attached the truck to the trailer, and now I'm just connecting it, like my airlines, my my airlines. I'm gonna have to get a new hose. Let's be careful. Um, and my utility. They call it a pigtail, but it's their utility line that basically gives the trailer its lights and all that. That lights up the trailer for where you can like your brakes, your signal lights, all that. Hook that up, and then I have to raise the landing gear, like basically get the legs off the ground. And then after we do all of that, what we're required to do is walk around the trailer and inspect it. And basically what we're looking for is damage in general, like because they want like if it's damage on there for us to report it so they can keep track of who damaged the trailer. But more specifically, because there's always going to be some type of damage, I don't really report it unless it's something crazy and it's new, because it's always going to have some type of scrapes and all that, and they be old. So I don't even report that. But I gotta go check my tires, basically check all that, make sure all my lights working, check the seal. What number is it? Yeah, so you basically just check the registration on the trailer, basically making sure everything is good with the trailer. It's good to go. Looking for stuff that the DOT would give you a ticket if they found wrong with the trailer. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what you're looking for. So you do a quick walk around. I don't need to inspect my truck because I already inspected it before I started work. Um, because you guys, there's always a lot of times something wrong with the trailer. Not all the time, but it can be. Uh, so like sometimes you might hook up the truck and trailer and all the lights ain't on the truck. It could be as simple as a fuse. It could be simple as a bad connection. It could be a number of things. Some things you'll be able to fix it real quick. Some things you might not be able to fix it. You just got to call your company and then go from there and see what you're going to do to get it, the situation you might be in, resolved. But some of the things you can resolve, some things you may not be able to resolve. Um, okay, so look, are you guys still in here? So look, for you guys that don't know, those things, those white things right there, those are yard hustling machines. They don't really look like semi trucks. They're a lot smaller. That's what um, yard hustling is. Um, yeah, so yeah, so that's what they look like. Hitting on him, hit the like button. Yay, yay. Yes, I just wanted to guys show you guys what they look like. They look different than diesel trucks. Yeah, so that's what they look like. Um, but yeah, and now what I'm trying to do is make sure I got all this stuff situated before I go. I gotta do some little stuff in this machine real quick. What time is it? 6:20. 6:20. Let me see something real quick. Oh, all right, cool. So I basically got to do some quick paperwork stuff, make sure all my stuff is together. Cause in trucking, I don't know if you guys know, Everything is the driver's fault. I don't give a fuck what's wrong because they're gonna say, "Well, you didn't inspect it, you didn't check the seal, you didn't check that, you didn't check this." So where I'm at, this place specifically, even if I showed you guys like trailers and stuff, some of these spots have like the trailers have my company's logo on it, but this place is a very big place, so they have all types of trailers here with different logos on there. Probably like 100 or more different carriers come in and out of here. So it's all different random trailers. So even if y'all seen some of the trailers, you still probably wouldn't know which one is mine. But you never know, man. Just because guys are so, there's just some dudes that they figure out remarkable stuff. So you have to guard your shit. You never know what people are up to. But this is I like this place right here specifically just because it's open 24 hours, so I can always just take care of my business. Um, and I can come anytime. So if the load is ready, even if I'm here early, I can still get the load. They have some places where, picking up the load and dropping off the load, it has very strict appointment times. And so you can't come early. This spot I could come at any time, which is nice. Um, yeah, so which is very nice. So now basically what I got to do right now is I'm waiting for it to check out with the guard. So you basically give them your paperwork. They will check and make sure that the paper you have matches with the trailer you have, and they'll go check the seal and all that. Just as a double check that you ain't leaving with the wrong trailer. It's like a safety precaution, whatever. So you check out, check in, and you check out. So that's basically what I'm waiting on. If I can get back on the road and get focused. But yeah. So as soon as they come over here, I'm hand the paperwork. I'm gonna get going. We can finish our little discussion. I am a little distracted right now, but yeah, it is. I'm gonna shut this right here real quick. But yeah, I'll still keep talking. I'm just a little distracted right now. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the little guard to come up, take my paperwork, which they come in right now, and I can get up out of here. Hey, how's it going? You're welcome. I don't know why I did that yet. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so it's my last day, man. This night shift's been crazy. All right, I'm gonna be with y'all in a hot second. We're almost finished. All right, thank you. All right, cool. So now he checked all my stuff. I'm waiting for this gate to open, and we are out of here. Like I said, man, it would be like cooler if I can, cause we can bring our phones. Like they don't stop us from really doing anything with our phone. It'd be nice to be able to show you guys the whole process, hooking the trailer up, disconnecting it, going checking it, just so you guys can get an idea of like what it really, especially like for the people that might be interested in getting into trucking. But we all know how YouTube works, so it's just not really possible to do all that. Um, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Um, yeah. All right, so we rolling, and let me put you guys like right here. Um, boom. Yeah. So now we back on the road. We feeling pretty good. I'm definitely should have been gone an hour and a half ago. So I'm an hour and a half behind where I need to be, right? Because it just wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't ready, and yeah, so it kind of sucks. Um, but yeah, what was we talking about? Um, J to the Z, man. I mean, a lot of us can learn. Like, we don't have to end up in these messed up situations, and we learn off of other people's misfortunes. So we don't have to make all those same mistakes. That's how you really get a lot further in life, learning off other people's mistakes. You don't need to make all the mistakes to learn. But yeah, so we rolling, and you see these cars, they be trying to creep by. Um, yeah, so just learn off people's mistakes. You don't need to make every single mistake, bro. Like, I've learned off so many YouTubers to come. I'm not gonna say I'm not making any mistakes or I'm not going to make any mistakes, but just YouTubers that have come before me, I have learned off of what you call it. Like, if I would have started YouTube a lot sooner, oh, I'm gonna take this down one more time until I just get over here. I don't want y'all trying to figure out too much. Um, but just learning off other YouTubers' mistakes. Um, like, if I would have started YouTube sooner, I might have been one of those dudes that got his channel took because I would have thought that the way content at that point in time was for you to progress. If you know what I'm saying? So that's just that's just is what it is, right? I'm definitely trying to put myself in a position to where, like, whatever I'm involving myself, I'm trying to educate myself about it. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, some things I'm trying new for the first time are doing it different. How well will it work? We don't know until we try. And then we find better ways like to do it. But like right now, I feel like it's cool coming at chopping it up with you guys when I'm in my truck because I work a lot. And then when I'm off work, I have like so many other things to do. I still try to squeeze in dropping videos, going live, but I try to make it all make sense. But like I said, man, it's a sad day because we see these figures like Jay-Z, Puff Daddy, and there's gonna be more people that are going to be named. I'm pretty sure that you know, that are the most successful black people are they stuff has been, it's just sad, you know what I'm saying? It's really sad. But it is what it is. Um it's just one of those things though. I'm just trying to make sure that my empire, the shit that I'm working hard for, don't crumble. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking precautions. And then also, think about this. 24 years ago, this shit allegedly happened. I mean, there's no excuse if you was in your 30s and you messed with someone that was 13. I mean, I don't care what, you don't have no defense. You just fucked up. But I'm just saying, think about how many mistakes people make when they're younger. Like, I mean, think about how many dumb decisions you make constantly. You know what I'm saying? And so, and to think if we watching somebody as prominent as Jay-Z, in some shit right now, and Puff Daddy, that could happen to anyone. I mean, not literally the things that they're faced with, but that you could just end up in some shit based upon lack of judgment, being impulsive, hanging around with the wrong groups of people, and that shit can all play into your success or your failure. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, like, if I'm too different from somebody, I really don't hang out with them that much in my personal life. If we don't have enough things in common, I won't hang out with you. Like, you don't work, you know what I'm saying? You don't have a job, you don't have shit going on. Um, you hustling, you slanging. I'm not gonna hang out with you. Like, we don't have enough in common. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your lifestyle bleeding into mine. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I remember. I'll give you guys a quick story time. I remember, like, I've been doing the right thing for a minute now. But there's times where I was messing up, running the streets, doing this, doing that. I don't have to name exactly what I was doing. I'm pretty sure you guys get the point when I say I was in the streets running around. So when I got distanced myself from that street life and just started taking care of my business, you know, it'd be hard to break those street ties. You still those still your homies and this and that, right? So I see one of the homies. I'll be doing my thing. I'm out the way, but I see one of the homies. He's walking, and in the city of where I'm from, I don't live in, right? So, but I see him. I push. Hey, what's up? Woo, woo. You need a ride? He gets in the car, and I got my music bumping. He like, yo, cut the music down. I'm like, yo, what's good? I mean, cause we had seen the police, and I'm like, well, we good. All my shit's straight. I have my license, insurance. We good to go. And he like, nah. He had drugs and a gun on him. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So that means if we get stopped, there's a chance that I'm going to get hemmed up. Because you, as being the driver, you are responsible for the shit that's in your vehicle. And I didn't know that he had that shit on him prior to me letting him in my car. He wasn't in my car alone. As soon as I let him in, about 20 seconds later, literally the police is right there and this is that. And so I learned a lesson. Like when you live a total different lifestyle, like I don't sell drugs, I'm not hustling, I'm not running around doing all that crazy shit in my day-to-day life. If someone that is, I can't just let you in my vehicle because there's no telling what you have on you or what you just been into before I ran into you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of like if someone's lifestyle is so different than yours, it's not that you're not being real. It's not that you acting funny. It's that you are moving in a way in accordance of with your lifestyle. And you can't let someone else's lifestyle bleed into yours. So after that happened, that was a lesson learned. And then so now when I run into cats, if I haven't seen you in a minute or I know you be in that life still, and I run across you, I make sure we not in the same vehicle. I'm not even getting in your vehicle because I don't know what's in your shit. And I just make sure that your life ain't gonna bleed into mine, basically. You know what I'm saying? And I keep, we chop it up real quick, but I'm always on the move. I'm always on the go. So we not like hanging out. We don't have enough in common for me to hang out with you. And I'm doing it moving. I got shit to do. Um, Also, another thing I learned don't drive people's cars, right? One time, it was simple. Somebody was working on my car, or no, it wasn't even that they was working on it. I needed a new battery because sometimes, when you drive trucks, you might not drive your car for a week, 2 weeks. It'll just sit there without ever being started up. So sometimes, and I don't disconnect my battery post if I like going through all that. So sometimes your battery could start going bad fast. You don't start your car up enough. It'll come out. So anyway, my battery's down. So it's like I'm gonna get a new battery. Whoopty whoop. So one of my folks was there, like, yeah, you could use my whip. And turns out I'm doing my thing. This dude has a fucking gun in his car. I don't even know. And it's not even a problem that he just has a gun in his car. I don't know if that gun is registered to him. I don't know anything about that gun. I'm in his car driving, and now that gun is in my possession. He not even in the car. He just like, oh, you could take my car real quick, whoopty whoopty whoop, and go grab a battery. 'Cause I couldn't drive my car there because my car wouldn't start. The battery was dead. That's another thing about driving people's vehicles. I don't really drive people's vehicles anyway. I mean, I already told you guys that, but I am a truck driver. So if you don't have car insurance and they stop me in your vehicle, now I'm driving a vehicle. I could get a ticket for that. That's fucking up my license. I don't even know if all your paperwork is straight. So I don't even drive other people's vehicles. Um, but that's just one to grow on for you. Stay away from driving, especially if it's not somebody you know your mom, your auntie, somebody you related to, somebody is gonna be legit. And even then, you you just never know what. they might be into that you don't know about. So I don't even like driving people's cars for any reason, and also because I don't like being responsible for nobody's shit too. But all those reasons combined that you probably don't even think of, like uh, you just kind of got to know how to move, man. And like um, people may think you were acting funny, but like you didn't get this far by making a bunch of dumb choices. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that's just kind of how I like to move. I try to stay disciplined. I keep my circle small, and also I hang out with like-minded people. I hang out with people that are doing similar things to what I'm doing, and that's just kind of how I like to move. And I always think about this. Like, have you ever heard somebody say, um, especially when you live in that life, that street life, right? Um, the homies, this and that, and you riding for the homies, I'll slide for the homie, and this and that, and why and this is another thing, why would you think a nigga wouldn't tell on you if or if this nigga don't even take care of his kids? If he don't give a fuck about some shit he created, he ain't even in his kid's life. He don't take it. Why would you think he give a fuck about you throwing you under the bus? He don't. He don't care about throwing you under the bus. He don't even take care of his kids. You think you more important to him than his kids? I mean, you got to start really putting stuff in perspective, right? And start using your brain. Like, I don't even do all that for the homies. Like, I got some homies that live that life, but I be thinking like the amount of shit that I get into, I could take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? If I got a situation, I don't need a group of people to help me handle or resolve an issue. I can resolve it by myself. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, because as we seen and we see, like, you know, one minute you might be cool with somebody, next minute you not. And so that's even goes into like when you are friends with people, how much information, because we get friends and you start, I mean, people seem to trust people as much as we know how people are, we always want to see the good in people. So we start trusting people, and you really have to watch how, if you know, how much you trust people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really see the best in people anymore. I look at the glass half full, but I really don't just trust people like that because I grew up in the streets and I know the streets is undefeated. It's just new players. I've seen this story play out time and time again. You being too trustful, you not knowing how to move. You know what I'm saying? You hanging out, like I said, with the wrong people. Um, being in the wrong places. Like for places like, for example, if I know I need a firearm to go to this place, then I'm not even going to go. That makes no sense where I need to bring a firearm just to go there. Why would I even want to go? You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem, as some of you guys know, I don't shy away from confrontation, but I'm not an idiot either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I move in a way that's in accordant to my lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is, man. Like, we are high value men. Think about it. They have brainwashed us and got the conditions of our mind of us being low self-esteem, low vibration, where we will constantly put ourselves in compromising positions just to look like we down, just to look like we real. I mean, you could be a bunch of things that's real dumb, real stupid, real ignorant. You could be a bunch of things that's real. Like, who defines what's real and what's not real? I mean, I think you should define that for yourself. And um, like I said, this thing with like I said, Jay-Z, look, he's basically being thrown in hot water based upon these allegations. But before these allegations surfaced, they were already mentioning his name based upon his friends, his circle of people that he was in his surrounding. Have you heard guilty through association? You gotta watch the people that you accompany because you will be viewed through the same lens as them. Like even they talk about the passport bro. Somebody asked me too before, like, are you a passport bro? I said, no, I'm not a passport bro. I'm a YouTuber that travels. I'm a content creator that travels. That's what I am. You know what I'm saying? So they'll try to classify you, put you in these different things. And I don't have nothing wrong with the passport bro or the passport bro movement. I just don't associate myself with shit like that because it's like, um, when I say shit like that, it's like just groups, like you get away from gang culture. Now you inserting yourself in some other. Nah, I represent myself. You know what I'm saying? I represent myself and the dudes that drive trucks though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do in my professional life. You know what I mean? I try to represent the truckers well by being one of the truckers that hit the gym, try to eat good, take care of my business. You know what I mean? And don't get caught up in felonious activity. You know what I mean? Try to represent for the truckers in that way. But yeah, as far as being a part of like any type of clique gang, I don't do all that. That's them days is past and beneath me. You know what I'm saying? I represent myself and the movement I got going on. And the movement I got going on is holding yourself accountable and concentrating on not only getting the bag, maintaining the bag. Getting the bag is one thing, keeping it is another. It is so hard to keep the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like you could get the bag, your money flowing, you doing good. How many of you guys in the chat your money has been on and you're doing good in life? Something comes along and your finances are fucked. And they're fucked for a while till you figured out a way to get yourself out of that ditch and get your finances back together. And that's probably happened several times to you during your lifetime, right? So we know getting the bag is different from keeping the bag, you know? So and like I said, man, like I'll give you guys another quick story time. I remember a while ago, right? This is when I used to like I was already like out of that street life pretty much. And I was working, holding shit down. And then I remember but I lived in like the neighborhood, like in the drug gang infested neighborhood. I still was living in those kinds of stuff that takes place in areas like that. So I went to my neighbors, like I was staying in an apartment complex. So I lived upstairs. It was like a fourplex. There's two apartments upstairs, two apartments downstairs. So I had a what do you call that? A gas race car. No, mine was I had a gas one, but I think that was the electric one I had. Either way it go, I had one of those race cars that the real ones from like the hobby shop that go super fast and all that, and they can go far away from you as far as you can drive it, because you can see it and be able to drive it. It can go drive further than you can drive it because you won't be able to see it that good and it move too fast. So it's one of them real race cars and shit where you can go to a hobby spot, buy a plane, whatever, and fly it. So I had one of those. Now my homie, he was like, "Yo, let me hook it up. He wanted to do something to it. He be messing with shit, like do some custom shit to it." And so I left my race car with him, and I went to work and all that. I came back, went to work. It was nighttime. I got back home. He be up late. I went downstairs to check out the progress on my race car and just check on my stuff because that race car was pretty expensive that I bought. It wasn't cheap. So I wanted to check on my stuff. I don't want days going by without me have seen it. So I go down there, check on it. I see that he has taken it apart. Like he's detailing it, taking it out. And I'm thinking like, why would you take my shit that much apart? But he does that type of stuff. Like it was so taken apart that I wouldn't have been able to put it back together myself. So I'm like, damn, I didn't know he was gonna do all that. But anyway, while I'm down there talking to him, he's like, nah, I'm gonna hook it up, don't trip, whatever. The police knock at his door. And so I had went to my apartment when I got home, went inside briefly and came down. right? I stayed right above him. So when I did that, I didn't lock the door. It was I shut the door. I didn't lock it because I didn't plan on standing there very long. I was going to come back upstairs, whatever. And my wife at the time was in the house, sleep, and my kids, whatever. It was, you know what I'm saying? So while I'm down there, the police knock at this dude's door, and he doesn't come to the door. Like he doesn't like answer the door, and he's kind of like basically like I get the vibe of like we need to be quiet. Like there was other people in this apartment too, by the way. Two of the other people that was in there, I didn't even know. So everybody's kind of quiet, and I'm like, damn, right? I just can't, now I can't even leave. I didn't even plan on being here down this long, but the police are like trying to, make contact, whatever. I don't know what's going on, whatever. So, um, they're being persistent. They're not leaving, and they're yelling through the door. If he don't come, they're gonna, kick the door down, or they're gonna whatever they're yelling. Now they go to the back of his apartment and they go to the window. His window, I don't know, it was in a room. I wasn't in the room, I was in the living room. But the door was open to the room. So either the window was cracked or just maybe it wasn't locked so they can slide it and it opened. So anyway, we hear them yelling through the window about to let the dog in the house, their dog. Now my wife can hear all this because it's just upstairs. It didn't woke her up. They making a bunch of noise. And I don't know how she figured. I don't know if I told her I was going down there real quick, whatever, but she knew I was down there somehow. Or maybe because I would go down there and hang out with him a lot too. But she knows that I'm down there, and two, she knows like, so she's thinking like, oh, okay, now I remember how I think she knew. Because before they went to his door, they went to my apartment because I guess they didn't know. Maybe they seen him outside and it's only a fourplex and he went up, so they knew he had to be in one of the apartments. They went to mine first and the door was unlocked, so they came in, flashing the lights, guns drawn in my apartment, and then they knew they had the wrong apartment, right? So now it's process of elimination that he had to have went because they was watching him, that he had to have went to the downstairs apartment because it goes in a little bit. They didn't see which one he went into. And so that's how they figured out. So now she's woke because they didn't pointed the guns, got the like she was asleep, flashlight all in her face, all this stuff. And so now they come to his door. So all this is going on. So in her mind, she's like wondering, why am I not coming outside? The police are yelling, talking about sending the dog in, but I feel like I can't come outside. So I grab like a pillow that's on this dude's couch because I'm like, yo, if this dog runs in here, I don't know who the dog is gonna attack first. And if he comes to me, I do not want to be getting bit up. I'm gonna put the pillow in his face, have him biting on the pillow, like that to whatever's going on. So I'm like, damn. So I was just like that. And then finally my homeboy got scared enough because like they was like coming in. Like you heard like the blinds moving and shit. And maybe he thought that was the dog. He said, hey, he made a noise. And they said, come here, come right here, put your hands up, whatever. So they ended up coming in without the dog, unlocking it, detaining all of us. And so they're asking me once they get me outside, why did I not like come to the door? And like, I heard the police at the door, like, what's going on? I'm like, because I don't live there. It's not my door to answer. I live upstairs. You know what I'm saying? It's not my door. Y'all came to the door. If the door didn't get answered, it's for the person that live here to answer his door. Like if I go to anybody else's house, I wouldn't answer the door if somebody knocked on the door. I'm a guest. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's basically what I told them. They end up letting me go because they was able to verify when I checked my ID that I just lived upstairs. And I told them, dude have my race car, just came to check on my shit. But that's what dude told him too. He's like, he ain't got nothing to do with nothing. See my work badge. I'm like, yo, I just got off work. Anyway, they let me go. They take him to jail and shit though. And so that was just a story of like just associating with people, just going to some dude's house real quick. Now I'm in a situation. I come back, my wife's upset with me, like, yo, something could have happened to you. You should have came out, this and that, cause she not on that street shit at all. She like, fuck all that. You putting our family at risk. this, and that. And so she's upset with me. I mean, not really upset, but she's kind of like, she was nervous for me. You know what I'm saying? You guys can hear me. But I just got to make it through these mountains real quick. It's not going to take long, maybe no longer than like 2 minutes. Real, right? Just settling because they don't want their name. All I heard something just settling because they don't want their name. All, all I heard something along the lines of they were saying, Daddy had made. I didn't hear the actual phone call, so I'm just going off what I heard. Allegedly, supposedly, he made a phone call. I think I heard allegedly, supposedly, he made a phone call. I think I heard Whack 100 talking about it, saying that oh, everybody quiet and something about he'll have the last laugh or something. Something along them lines, like we'll see who has the last laugh, something like that. Indicating that I am not going down by myself. I mean, that's kind of what Wack took away from that, and that's probably what I'm taking away from that. You know what I mean? Nobody, oh, they said nobody wants to go down by themselves, right? Or misery loves company. Something I was hearing people say. But I don't think that Puff Daddy would be telling because misery loves company. No, if he give you up, he's looking to make a deal to minimize the damages that he is facing. It's not like if Jay Z go to jail, they gonna be in the same cell. You gonna have no company like that. We talking about mitigating the damages. And, that's what happens because everybody is tough, right? Until it is time to pay the price for being tough. I mean, there are some that are willing to pay the price. That's I always say, this what it come with. It come with. Those are the principles I stand on. But I try to navigate my life in a way to where if it's some shit that went down, it's some shit that has to do with me, and it ain't no. I'm not dragged in somebody else's shit. But I live off the principles of it come with what it come with. That's why I always say I don't shy away from confrontation, but I don't involve myself in other people's criminal activities. You know what I'm saying? I don't involve myself in that because it don't have shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's something that I gotta address and deal with, I got no problem doing that. So, like I said, man, I think we all need to start thinking like high value male, like high value men. And when you gotta take out the trash and then get back on the path of being a high value male, working on your finances, working on buying them. That is your portfolio. Continue to work on your portfolio. And remember, success alone don't mean you made it. Jay-Z is successful. Puff Daddy is successful. You have to continue to manage your life. It don't matter how much money you got. You know what I'm saying? You always have to manage your life. You know what I'm saying? Because having money, like your money is not a direct correlation to your happiness. Your money allows you to do things, but those things are not tied to each other. You know what I'm saying? So we got to remember, like, when you see dudes talking about money, 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 and a lot of times that they are compensating for something else that they are insecure about. You know what I'm saying? Typically. Um, so I would say, that's why I don't feel the need to like wear jewelry. I don't feel like, I mean, I got a couple pieces. Hold on one second. I got to pull right here real quick. All right. Looks kind of crazy. Don't worry about it. Don't be alarmed. I just had to pull right here and do something real quick. Um, Gotta fix something real quick. Um, if you're a truck driver, we will probably understand. If you're not, you probably like, yo, what is dude doing? Um, yeah. So I just know like like, have you been like people like you should know that your money is not a direct correlation to your happiness based upon you have been in situations, right? To where um you have been in situations to where you've seen poor people, people from countries that don't have a lot of money and they be happy. You know what I'm saying? You might have been in your life where um you didn't have a lot of money, but you had a lot of happy times. And then you might be in a point in your life where you are a lot more financially stable, but you are not as happy. Maybe since then you didn't had a divorce, your family didn't got separated, your bag is together, but all these other things that are directly tied to your happiness are in shambles, right? So money is like not a direct thing. Like we hustle for the money and we trying to get it, but remember, happiness is within. If you're not happy without money, you're not gonna be happy once you get it. Trust me. Most people, if you think I'm lying, go research and go check out the lotto winners. How many people do you know that have won the lottery and their life ends up tragic? Like they end up saying like this was the worst thing that ever end up happening to them. You know what I'm saying? Um, like their life ended up becoming worse, not better, because money is one of those things that's like once you get in the bag, um, because everybody like you when you broke, right? You could just be, but when you got a little bit of money, people become jealous. People become like, if you say no, now they like, yo, he acted funny. I hate, like, I watched this thing with, I forgot the dude's name. I should have researched it because I wanted to do a video on that, who this dude was. But it was a dude, he was referring to Jay-Z, talking about him in a song where he said, I could sense the deceit in his tone. Like, basically, dude called him from jail and he felt like, he was a suspect. It was all good just a week ago. That song right there by Jay Z. That dude comes out basically and does an interview and saying Jay Z was talking about me. It was all good just a week ago, and he is upset with Jay Z. Why? Because he got arrested and he felt Jay Z left him hanging. I called him. I reached out to him. Let me get in contact with him. I had my mother reach out to his mother. This, and that. I needed him. And then when I got out, I told him I still was jammed up. I needed help. He didn't help me. So he's upset because a grown man didn't come save another grown man. The last time I checked, you are an adult. Like, I just needed 150,000. He's looking at that like that's nothing because you Jay Z, right? I don't owe you 150,000. Ain't nobody told you to go do what you did that landed you in jail. Why do I now need to come out of my pocket 150,000 to save you? Now, it would be nice if I did it, but I don't owe you that. Now, you are upset with me saying I'm not a real dude because I ain't take care of another grown man. Like, if you are running the streets, breaking the law, you should have lawyer money put up, because only a matter of time before you get caught up in some shit. And I was just looking at dude, he thought like he was really talking about some real shit about how fake Jay was. But I was thinking about like, how silly do you sound? You are mad that another dude that you consider to be friends didn't come to your rescue like you was his child. Like, he don't owe you that just because you guys are friends. You know what I'm saying? He don't owe you that. Your life is for you to steer clear from, ditches and shit. Right now, Jay-Z is in a bunch of shit, right? Is anybody gonna run to Jay-Z's defense? No. Jay-Z has to now navigate through this. When Puff Daddy was in a bunch of shit and he got a lot of money, is anybody was speaking up for Puff? No. Nigga, you in trouble, not we in trouble. We are not slaves. It ain't like, yo, we sick. No, you sick. You know what I'm saying? We are not that tied to each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's not we are sick, you are sick. We not in trouble, you in trouble. right? And it's nice if you do got friends. Think about all those cats that was mad at Jay-Z, um, Benny Siegel. He was mad. Oh man, I thought it was La Familia, and like he already put you on a platform where you could become rich. You wasn't budgeting your money, so when this money train ended, you like, damn, I'm fucked up. It's not Jay-Z's fault. He already helped you make some money. It's not him to help you manage. It's not his job to help you manage your money. It's not his job to put you in a position where you making money forever. Sometimes you got to be like, yo, that was cool while it lasted. And you got to be like, you already know anytime you are making money, it is not guaranteed to stay like that. So you need to be putting up money for a rainy day. You need to be making investments and all that other shit. That is for you to do. Not be upset because he's still doing good. And only dude that I ever hear talk like he got some sense is Tony Yayo. Cause he went on the show and he was up there with Cam and all that, and they interviewed 50 Cent, and Cam was asking him like, how does he feel about, because what's the name? Yo has been going to acting school and classes or whatever, and knowing 50 Cent got the show Power and all that, and Yayo says like it's not realistic. If 50 Cent put all his friends in the movie, he would not be successful. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. He said, if you want something, you got to earn it. That's why I'm in acting classes. It would be nice if he put me in one of the things, but 50 don't owe me that. You know what I'm saying? I got to put in the work if I want it. So that's why I'm in acting classes. Just because I'm 50 Cent's homeboy don't mean he should give me a part in a movie. It don't work that way. A lot of these dudes are beta males and weak-minded individuals, and they think from a place of like, you not real, you a sucker, because you ain't continuously helping them get on. You ain't continuously feeding them. You ain't continuously being that safety net for them. They don't owe you that. And so you will. That's the one thing that sucks about having a little bit of money or a lot of money, because I've encountered those same situations. No, I don't have no Jay-Z type of money, but I work every day. I handle my business, so obviously I'm doing all right in life. So, and I know other people that may not be doing all right in life, and I've had friends come to me. I've even had people ask me, could I bail their girl out of jail? These are real things that happen. Like, I've had people ask me for stuff, and then if you don't, not all my friends get upset when I say no, but some of them like, yo, man, you changed, man. Like, you a funny style dude, woo woo, because I've been over here working this graveyard shift, busting my ass, and you've been sitting at the house smoking weed all day, running the streets, and now you in the jam, you need me to come get you out of the jam, and if I decide not to do it, now I'm not real. But like I said, through this last trip I had, you can't do enough for people. So I don't even get caught up in the trying to pacify people's feelings, because most of the time, um, their definition of you being real is basically you being gullible. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you being a crutch for them. You know what I'm saying? Then they'll call you real. Fuck all that, nigga. I'm over here like, I want to network with other brothers. Let's come together. We can network. We could build something together. But you're not gonna sit here and twiddle your thumbs and wait for me to get some shit popping and then just bring you along. It don't work that way. You know what I'm saying? That's why when I first did my YouTube channel, what did y'all hear me say? Man, I want to earn a seat at the table. I'm gonna do my thing. I was interacting with way bigger YouTubers than me, right? I never shouted my channel name out. Y'all always hear me say that. I never asked these dudes to put me on. I networked with them, and then when I had a chance to launch my channel and get it popping, I went after it. You know what I'm saying? I invested in all the equipment. I went and made sure I put in all the work at my trip. Ain't nobody documenting my trip. I had to do all that. I had to create those moments, those lit moments to bring back and share. And you know what I'm saying? I had to go into my creativity, right? You have to put in your own work around here. You know what I'm saying? And I like working with people that ain't afraid to challenge themselves and put in that work. You know what I'm saying? Like the type of people when I do help them is those that are trying to help themselves. Like if you're not trying to help yourself, you're not gonna just eat off me, bro. Because anything that I give you, I could have did that for my kids and put them in an even better position than I have them in now. Any steak you keep taking off my plate, you taking away from my kids, from my family, right? And the thing is, once I help you, like I'd rather just show you how to do it. I'd rather just game you up. Like, look, this is what you could do. This is how you probably should do it. This is what you now, if you don't want to put in the work, you just want me to do it for you. That's not gonna work because if I do it for you, you don't even know how to do it, right? And you're gonna continue come asking me to the same thing over and over because you don't want to spend time to learn how to do it. So that's why when I've been editing my videos, if y'all notice, for the most part, my videos been when I actually do footage, not the lives, but the videos, they've been actually getting better. Like the the quality of the videos are getting better, the thumbnails are getting better because I didn't ask nobody to do it for me. I took the time to learn. And anybody that was willing to help me and steer me and guide me in the right direction and show me something, I paid attention and I practiced and got it to where like, okay, I'm getting better. I know how to do that now. Instead of saying, can you just do it for me? Because eventually, if they do it once for you, they're not going to continue to do it for you. They got other shit to do. And so that's where we got to get in life, man. Stop thinking people going to hold your hand, man. Be a man. Or if you're a woman, be a woman. And don't be talking about you independent and you getting child support from three different dudes and you getting a county check and you get stamps and you got all this government assistance and you don't work. You're not independent. You living off taxpayers. You're not independent. I be hearing women talk like that all the time, and then they'll talk shit about they baby daddy that's not doing much better than them. Only how you doing better than them is because the government came to your aid and rescued you, not independent. I respect those that get out here, men and women, and get on their grind and take care of their business and do what they got to do. Because I'm like this: if you ain't doing what you got to do, be patient. Suffer, motherfucker. I'm gonna watch you. Be patient. You know what I'm saying? I don't really give a fuck. Because if you gonna sit there and pout and do nothing about it, I ain't even got time to even waste with you, dog. Now, if you like, yo, man, I'm fucked up, I need to do that, and you trying to, and I say, yo, you could do this, and then I see you do it, and then I'll give you some more game, then I'm like, man, okay, I see him trying. You know what I'm saying? But if I don't see you trying, man, I don't got time to do it. You know, one time I told somebody, I said he ain't had no job and stuff. I said, bro, it was actually uh, a relative, it was a cousin of mine. And I said, you need to get a job, man. Like this is now. I'm going to work. I come back. You ain't like, so I bring him back a job application, right? To try to get him going, right? And then I give him the job application. I say, just fill it out and I'll turn it in for you. Cause he didn't even have a card. And I was got him a job application for the place that I work. Do you know I gave this dude the job application and I want to see in the chat because I'm not really reading, but I'm gonna look real quick. Um, Why the videos question by himself? Okay, in the chat, can anybody think? What do you think he did with that job application after I gave it to him? So I gave it to him. Boom, boom. I guess like the next day or the following day, I seen like did he fill it out? What was going on? So I could turn in the application. What do you guys think he did with that job application? I'm gonna wait just for a second to see if anybody can guess. I'm gonna give you guys like maybe 15 seconds. You guys don't say anything or guess it. I'll just tell you what he did. I just want to see if you guys can guess. It's, and let's see. All right, so I don't see anything anybody putting it in there. So I'm gonna tell you what he did with the job application. I came back and it was folded in a way to where when you break down weed up on it. So he folded it up to break the weed down. And back then that was like a long time ago where, probably has seeds and shit in there. I don't know, but he was breaking the weed down on the paper. He folded it up and was breaking weed down up in there. And I'm thinking like, bro, you don't want no job. You know what I'm saying? When I say bro, it wasn't my brother. I just say that word a lot. But I'm like, dude, you don't want no job. You broke, you bent the application up like and folded it to break the weed down up in there and got weed resident. I'm like, bro, you can't be kidding me. And do you think he ever got a job? No. Do you think that ever got turned in? No. I said, man, but you hear these same dudes talking about the government is holding them down and it's not set up for the brothers to make it and all these like nah like how I'm saying if they hold you down, how many job applications you put in a day? What'd you do? You were sitting around smoking all now you holding yourself down. And I'm just being real, man, because like people will kid people all day, but it's a sad day when you kid yourself, when you sit here and lie to yourself and you make excuses, and then everything that's going wrong in your life is someone else's problem. That's what that dude did when he was talking shit about Jay Z. Some of you guys, Jay Z is like one of those dudes. Either you like him or you don't. There's gonna be a lot of people that don't like Jay Z, and there's gonna be a lot of people that do, right? But and when you think about it, some of his close friends they don't like him because he did not continue to put. They think that he is supposed to continue to make ways for them to win. These are grown men, grown adults. How many? How much money have you made? You went and bought what? Two Bentleys, a chain, a big ass house. You went and bought, and you ain't buy no investments. You invest none of your money, and you upset that you broke now. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, you guys might encounter these type of dudes that will make it seem like make try to guilt trip you because you were doing so much better than them. But I'm telling you now, only thing you could do for these dudes is point them in the right direction. You can't carry them there. You can't bring the water to them. You just point them in the right direction. If they take heed and they go in that direction, fine. If they don't, you have to continue to um, walk down your path. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes that are grown men don't realize you have children that you are trying to get to go down the right path. I don't like at this point you a grown person. You gonna make whatever decisions you gonna make. I'm trying to steer my kids and guide them down the right path. I don't have time to be the real homie to you. You know what I'm saying? We me and then like we even seen the one thing. I don't know if you guys seen where 50 Cent's son was upset with 50 Cent. He said, "Oh man, my dad only gave us how much money was it again? I was want to say it was like fuck, how much was it again? Damn, I want to say the number. It was in my head. I'm gonna guess the number. This might not be exact because I can't remember the number now. I want to say he was giving like $12,000 or no, I think it was like 6,700 a month child support, whatever it was. It was, I think it was like 6,700 a month in child support. But at first, he was giving his kid's mother $25,000 a month for child support without a court order. But her and him, they wasn't seeing eye to eye. 50 Cent was feeling she was feeling entitled, talking to him like she could get more and just getting at him fucked up. So he was like, all right, he went and put his cell phone child support and that 25,000 that she was giving him went all the way down to like $6,300 a month. So now she's upset. The son's upset because he's like, yo, my dad's on Forbes list, and he got us living off $6,300 a month. And everybody who was on Choke No Jokes channel where I seen it at, and they was trying to tell him like $6,300 a month is a lot of fucking money. There is people. I mean, and this is like not taxes coming out of it or nothing. This is $6,300 a month. Now, if your mother put the other 63 with it, now you got about 13,000, close to 13,000 a month, right? So he's giving you $6,700 a month, right? Or $6,300 a month, whatever that was. And that is a lot of money. Most people that got jobs that work 12-hour days and all that don't walk away with 63 or $6,700 a month after, but and you ain't got to do nothing. You just getting it. But you know. And then he also talked about a story with his son where he was trying to convince his son to open up this shoe store, an online shoe store, but his baby mama got all in the mix of that, whatever. And he didn't take it serious. And now they got the whatever that online shoe store that's worth billions of dollars. When he was trying to get his son, because he knew his son was in the shoes, and how it started was um he was mad because he's talking about his friend had X amount of sneakers, and 50 Cent said, "You don't need that amount of sneakers. You didn't earn that amount of sneakers. You got enough pair. You don't need 25 pairs of sneakers." You know what I'm saying? And the mom was like basically putting this in his head, like, "Yo, your dad is 50 Cent. You should have more than this person, that person." And 50 Cent was saying like he was not trying to make his son be where um he was dependent and didn't have any hustle. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to make his son earn stuff, right? And so the mom was, since she didn't never want to work because her baby daddy is 50 Cent, I could just give money. She was passing that same mind state on to their child, right? And so, it's sad because, you know, us as being men at that age, we will be boys, and boys are always really attached to their mothers. We have like a special bond with our moms more so than our fathers. And then like it seems like daughters more so might have a bond with their father more so than their mother. Just how it works. So him being a boy, at the time, he's a young man now, but um, he went to his mother's defense. No matter how much 50 Cent was doing, providing for them, he was indoctrinated with this ain't enough just because, not because it's not enough, because you have this. So this ain't nothing. They're basing upon what he's giving them all based upon what he has, not what they actually are getting and receiving. You know what I'm saying? His son comes on here. If you stay in a house with 5 kitchens in it, why am I staying in a house with 1 kitchen in it? Like that type of mentality. And Choke No Joke was trying to tell him, your father's success is not your success. Like people get confused thinking that your success is their success. And it just doesn't work that way. And then if you disrespect someone, whether it's your parent or not, cut you off. We do know the story with Dr. Dre. Here goes another guy, Dr. Dre, right? He has a daughter. I think she's like 40 now. And she was coming out talking about Dr. Dre cut her off because he used to give her allowance, and now she's struggling. So he took care of her all the way till she was 40 and finally like cut her off. And now she's talking about like he not a good father, and talking all this shit about him because he finally cut that off, and like, well, he know I'm out here with my kids. She had like a bunch of kids. And like it's Dr. Dre's job to take care of your kids. Where's the kid's father? Dr. Dre didn't make those kids. You made them. Why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing you? Why you got the big ass SUV if you can't afford to put gas in it? Get a smaller car. When he was giving you all this allowance, why didn't you buy a house? Then you got some people coming out, oh man, Dr. Dre, he should just buy her a house. Or when he was giving her the money, how come he didn't just tell her to get a house and tell her like, so he was supposed to take care of this person for the rest of their life? You were 40. What are you talking about? Dr. Dre abandoned you. You have kids that you're supposed to be taking care of. It'd be crazy how people think that one person's success is their success. I've even experienced that even amongst family. Like just say like some of my family, they may own property. And then they'll say, oh man, we got property over there. I know another YouTuber that talks like that. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't be wanting to get a dude no clout. But he talks like his family got property. His family probably do got property. That don't mean you own the property. Your family own it. You don't got no ties to it because you are related to somebody that owns some property. It's not yours, right? Like, and so there's people that think and act that way. Me, I always think like this. I don't want a penny less than what's owed to me, and I don't want a dollar more. I just want what's mine. You feel me? And as y'all see when I'm on the live with y'all now, like damn, this dude be working. I'm at work. at my place of business, taking care of my business. And for somebody else, when I come back, and that's why I be like tripped out when people talk shit about Jay-Z or talk shit about, even they'll talk shit about Snoop Dogg. I mean, they not really doing it now, but back in the day, when Snoop was like, yo, I'm not gonna continue to let the homies use me. They talking about, oh, he ain't doing nothing for the hood, this, that, this, and that. But he done did more for the neighborhood than you ever did. He done established football teams. He take care of all their clothes. He done got them the bus. Some of them dudes have went to the lead. You know what I'm saying? He done did way more for the community than you ever have. You upset because you a grown and he don't continue to give you money. Oh man, Snoop, what do you do for the? They be acting like these like, and then they'll smut stream because you ain't gonna take care of them. Now, if you okay with checking in and and funneling money to them, then you good. You the homie. You know what I'm saying? Fuck all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every man, like what is that song by Pac? He said, I love paying rent when the rent is due. Hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you. Like, do you be, you know how it sucks paying bills, but you know how happy I be that I'm in the position to pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love being able to pay my bills when they do. You know what I'm saying? That I work hard enough where I can pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, take pride in that. You know what I'm saying? And don't let nobody trick you out of your position, talking you into buying shit you can't afford to impress a bunch of motherfuckers that don't like you and wishing and praying on your downfall. I wish I would go buy a $60,000 vehicle to impress who? If I buy a $60,000 vehicle, I bought it because I want it for me. But we get caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses instead of saying I don't need a $60,000 vehicle. I could buy a $30,000 vehicle and spend that other 30 in investments, right? You go buy a house, a big nice house you cannot afford, and now your shit in foreclosure. You know what I'm saying? Now you trying to do a short sale. I mean, like, bro, it's like people end up in financial bondage trying to impress other people all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I don't try to live above my. Y'all seen when I went to the zoo, I felt all my clothes was nice, but you didn't see me out there in no designer shit. I was in there some Under Armour shit. I had a little couple Nike joints. I had a little. I'm not coming down there in no Versace and no Louis and no. I'm not doing all of that. For what? Who am I trying to impress? I don't need to do all that. Because when you got the bag, you're not worried about doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm staying in my lane. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with buying Gucci and Louis and all that shit if you can afford it. But even if I just think about this, just because you can buy something does not mean you can afford it. You know what I'm saying? If you got a $60,000 vehicle and you pulling that motherfucker up to an apartment complex, you cannot afford it. So you mean to tell me you don't got no investment? You bought this $60,000, $50,000 liability instead of purchasing some type of asset first? Like people will kid themselves. Like you look ridiculous, bro. You got all the and most of the time when I see somebody with a real expensive vehicle, I don't think like, yo, he got a lot of money. I think like, yo, you don't got a lot of money because you got a lot of money coming out. Your bills is high. You got to pay for that shit every month. You know what I'm saying? You got all this nice shit. Most of the people that have a bunch of nice shit are broke because all their money goes to paying for this shit. And the people that just be chilling, got like a regular car, or like just cool, not doing too much. Those be the people with the actual money. Anybody that got this costume on, that that make it that dress in a way that they come across like they got a bunch of money, they don't have it. Because we even know when we watch uh rich people, most rich people, unless they rappers, don't wear jewelry and all that shit. They don't wear that. They sell it to poor people. What did Kanye West say? I am a billionaire. I don't wear my wealth around my neck. And that nigga Dave Chappelle, he did a show about it. He said, oh shit, I tucked my chain in. Then he made a joke about when he fell off and he not a billionaire no more. He a millionaire. He said, ah shit, welcome back, and he pulled his chain back out. But it's pretty funny. That was pretty a profound thing to say. That like, bro, when you got the bag, you ain't trying to look like you got the bag. You got the bag, man. And who give a fuck about impressing somebody? Because the same people you see on your way up is the same people you see on your way down. You know how many times, like there, I'll give you a real life story, right? I was making a lot of money, like in different points in my life. I had the bag, I lost the bag. I had the bag, I lost the bag. And a lot of you probably could relate to that. There was one point in my life that I had the bag, right? And I had a really nice car, right? And everything was going good. We got a couple properties. We got this. We just got shit going on, right? And what happens? Life happens. Life be lifing. Um, you know, I'm going through shit. I'm going through separation. I'm going through this. My finances is fucked up for several different reasons. It's like more than one thing started to happen at one time at the same time, right? And now my money is not the same amount of money. And now I have more debt than I have money coming in. I am living above my means now because I was living at my means. Instead of living under beneath my means, I was living at my means. So when something bad happened, now I'm living above my means. And what happened? When my life was like it was in a disarray and it was shit was going wrong, you try to keep your composure because you are embarrassed too that your money is fucked up and you don't really want people to know all your business. So you go on and you act like your money is still right. You got on this fucking costume you wearing. You playing a character right now. Like instead of being like, yo, I need to start downsizing shit. I need to start getting rid of shit. Right? I'm playing it off like my money is still the same and it's not. So what happens? One day I come outside and my fucking car is gone. I need to go to work. It's no longer where I left it at when I come out my house. And my car is gone, and I already knew that they impounded my shit because I knew I was behind on payments. And I used to park my shit behind the gate. And sometimes I always don't get. I got tired of like putting my car in my backyard behind the gate, so I got sloppy, and a couple of times I left it out front, and so I could just take off because I had to at that time be at the. I had to leave for work at like. I had to be to work at like I think like 5 in the morning. So I had to be up by like 4 in the morning or even earlier than that. So I can get up, be dressed, do all that, and still make it to work. So one day I get up, my car's gone. I know this shit is impounded. I'm like, fuck. So I'm going to work and I don't have my car. I'm like catching rides to work, trying to figure out how to get back and forth to work. What's the first thing my coworkers ask me? Like, what happened to your vehicle? Like, or what happened? What happened to the whip? Me, because I'm living my pride and I'm embarrassed and I want to look like I'm doing better than I actually am, I lie and I say, somebody stole my car. I came out, my shit was gone. They stole my shit. Because I didn't want to say, yo, I fell behind on my payment and they impounded my shit, bro. I just didn't want to say that. And so, one thing when you tell a lie, then you got to tell another lie, and you got to tell another lie. And eventually the truth will come out that no, motherfucker, your shit got repossessed. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually I just had to keep it real. But I didn't keep the lie going too long. I was just like, yo, I thought somebody stole my shit. Cause when I come out, they ain't leave a note on the gate like we repossessed it. I knew it got repossessed. But I had to clean the lie up real quick because I didn't want to go on telling lies. Because eventually the truth was gonna come out anyway. I just wasn't prepared to say the truth in the first day when I first got confronted with it. Now, so I was like, yo, turns out my shit got impounded. I found out that, when I first came out, I thought it was stolen. It just wasn't there. But turns out they repossessed my shit. I just had to own it, bro. And I remember being in a situation to, like my grandmother, for example, she's one of the people that I know. It's a few people, but she knew about it. And she's always been doing well in life. Since I've ever knew who she was, she's always been super, super, super financially stable. So my grandmother's like, "Yo, what you gonna do?" I'm like, I'm gonna just go get my stuff out the whip." She's like, "Do you want me to, loan you the money so you can go get your car so you can make it to work?" And in that moment, I felt like my manhood was being tested. You know what I'm saying? If I accepted this money, I knew that I was not gonna have the money. Not only am I gonna owe in the car, I'm gonna be still owe, like, I'm gonna pay, get the car out, whatever. But I'm gonna still owe this note, but I am not gonna have enough money to like pay my grandmother back in my current situation. I just have too many bills right now. And so now I'm gonna be owing my grandmother now, and I'm gonna be taking her money, knowing I can't pay her back. So I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna do that." So I told her, "Nah, I appreciate it, but can you just loan me your whip so I could go get my stuff out of my belongings out of my vehicle, and I'll figure the rest out." So she loaned me her vehicle, boom, 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 and I get all my stuff out, and then turns out she ends up like loaning me one of her cars for like a little bit anyway, maybe like a couple months, until I was able to get back on my feet because she had more than one car. But I felt a lot better than that, than having her pay to get my vehicle out the impound just to fall back behind on my payments and be owing her and all that shit. And it was the best thing I could have did, because you know why? I know I probably shouldn't be telling you all of this, but this shit is just real. When that fucking car got took, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulder. Now I wasn't like struggling like how I'm gonna pay this every month, how I'm gonna pay this every month, how I'm gonna pay this month. Because my car note payment at the time was $500 a month, and the car insurance was 100. So I was a $600 situation every month that I was dealing with, right? That was no longer that I was dealing with. It was a burden, and so then I was able to like with my money regroup, because I was like able to now shed some bills, restructure my money, and figure out how to get my finances better in a better place. Because the first thing you need to do when you are in financial destitute is be honest with yourself and get rid of some of these bills you have. Be honest, cut some of that shit off. You can't afford it no more, because the longer you hold on to that shit, the more water your boat will take on, and then eventually that boat is going to sink. So that was like, and then I got to a life point in my life where that happened. Since that day, and even really before that day, but when that day had, because my grandmother had helped me out before in my lifetime several times when I was younger and stuff. But this was one time where she was gonna come to my aid and rescue once again, and I said, "No, I'm a grown man. I can figure it out." But then since that happened, I've never, ever been in a situation where I had to borrow money for somebody, where I couldn't cover my expenses, because I learned something that day. When the money is coming good, it's, you know what I mean? It's not guaranteed to stay like that. Your money is going to be ups and down like the stock market. So as long as you live below your means and not at your means, when a rough patch come in your life, you will be able to overcome it, because you will have had a safe investments. You will be able to weather that storm. But if you were living paycheck to paycheck, because I don't care how much money you bring in, if you got the same amount going out as you have coming in, you are living paycheck to paycheck. As soon as something goes wrong, you will be uh, taking on a bunch of water, and the shit is embarrassing, bro. And the thing is, though, it happens to us, but we learn from it, we restructure, and now um, the fact that I stood up and looked myself in the mirror and said, "You could do this. You could do this, K9." You know what I'm saying? No, what I start doing? I got a big bag of rice, potatoes. I cut my meal. I started eating very cheap meals. I had to cut a whole bunch of shit so I could start rid of shit that I was paying for, different accounts. Stop helping people I couldn't help no more. Stop sending. You know what I mean? Like, um, make sure that everything that I had to trim off the fat, I trimmed it off. You know what I'm saying? And then I was able to rebuild. And now that I'm in a lot better place financially, I don't give a fuck about buying some shit to impress somebody, because guess what? When I went broke and fell off, everybody was just looking at me crazy. They thought it was just I would hear like people whispering about it, like at work and shit, and like, like you hit the corner, you could tell that they was talking about you before you walked up. Like, did you hear? Hey, he got his car. Because at that time, I I had multiple sources of income at that time, right? So not that I only had a job, I had multiple sources of income. So I was pretty much one of those dudes that was doing better than everyone else at my job. You know what I'm saying? So I was looked at one of those dudes that like always, had a really nice car, had his shit tight. I would wear really nice shit to work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going out and like why are you wearing like this super nice shit to work? You at work. But I would dress like that at work. I would, and so then when I fell off, everybody was talking about it. And I've even had people come up to me and like talk to me about it to my face, like, "Yo, man, if you need anything, man, let me know if I can help you out." It was a real humbling experience, right? And so I went through that, and then also while I was going through that, I remember Christmas was coming up. I shouldn't be telling y'all this shit, but since we already on it, fuck it. Let the keep good times keep rolling. I was going through all this shit, right? And Christmas was coming up. Meaning, before so before I had lost the car, right? Um, no. So I had lost that car, and I had a wait. What did I? No, before I had lost the car, Christmas and shit was coming up, right? So I had a sound system in the car, right? And I was broke, and so I sold my stereo equipment out the car. But I told the dude that was buying my equipment that I was upgrading my shit, and so I wanted to sell it to him. I mean, if he wanted to buy it, whatever. And he tried to lowball me, and then I was just kind of like, nah, I can't let it go for that amount because I knew, um, I was selling this and I wasn't replacing my sound system with nothing. And on top of that, I needed to come up with Christmas gifts for my kids. And at this time, me and my wife, we was already going through our shit. We were separated. Boom, boom, boom. So I sold all my stereo equipment out my whip so I could buy my kids Christmas gifts. I didn't want to be like, yo, Christmas is coming and like, Pops ain't got it. But I ain't have the money to really go out there and do Christmas for him. So I sold out. I had like name brand shit, like Rockford Fallgate. You know what I'm saying? I had like top of the line shit. So I was able to sell it, come up with some Christmas money, boom, make sure they had a Christmas so my kids didn't have to feel the struggle. They send their kids open up kids. What'd you get? What'd you get? You know how it be when you're a kid. What you get? And then if you ain't really get shit because your parents is on the struggle, you know what I'm saying? I was never let my kids go out like that. So I just sold my shit. Did what I had to do. Because at that point, that little stereo equipment shit didn't mean nothing to me. So and I had some rims too. One time I sold, I had some. This was back in the day because not this wasn't at this particular time when this happened, but I've sold my rims before. They was brand new in the box. I remember me and my wife, we was on the come up. She was fresh out of her like school shit, so like we wasn't very making much money. This is when my kids was really young, and but I had like a few cars, maybe like 3 cars, and I had some rims that I was gonna put on one of my cutlasses. There was 20-inch Dayton's, the shallow disc, and it was brand new. I was waiting to put them. I couldn't wait to put them on, but I knew, um, you know, she was doing her entrepreneurship type shit to make money. And I said, if we get these business cars, you'll probably get a lot more business. So I sold my rims. We got her cars looking real professional, and she started making a lot more money, and it ended up turning out to be a good thing. But I've learned like these little shiny things in life, when your back is pressed up against the wall that means so much to you, will not mean very much. So now that I'm doing good in my life, they don't mean much. They don't mean nothing at all to me now. Like my life don't have to be turned upside down for that shit not to mean nothing to me. It don't mean nothing to me now. The things that mean shit to me is my family's good, my family's safe. We got food on the table, clothes on our back, we got somewhere to stay. My kids is good. My daughter going to college. My daughter has a vehicle. She's straight, and she's still a teenager. My whole point is, I've been making the right choices. I've been practicing my financial literacy, my credit. Everything is good, but I know that something else will come up. And this time I know I will be prepared for it because I live below my means. And I don't try to buy a bunch of shit to impress a bunch of people that don't give a fuck. Because once I fall off, you know what, those people that think I'm the man, like they like, yo, man, he got it going on, man. Woo woo, that's whoopty whoop. And when I fall off, you know what they'll be doing? They'll be laughing and talking about me amongst each other. Man, you see that fool, man? He doing bad, man. That fool, ooh, they be talking so much shit. So why waste time trying to impress them people to begin with? You feel me? And so I don't know how I got on all that, but I guess how I got on all that was like, you know, people talk so much shit about celebrities and just different people, and we just realize these are just people that are famous that have a lot of money, but they're still just people at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And so when you are getting money, I've learned to like not try to save the world. I try to help those by giving them good ideas, things they could actually do, and just tell them like, yo, you just gotta, be work smart, work hard, and be talking so vaguely that how could a motherfucker use that news? But like, I actually give them a game plan, shit that they could actually do to start getting their life back on track. And then once their life is on track, they don't gotta ask me for $20, $100, this, that. Can I do this? They can do it for themselves. And when you can do shit for yourselves and then help others, it's a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys, don't try to impress people that it just don't make no sense, bro. And then when you see someone that cause you can be standing, you can see the full picture when you standing from the outside looking in. When you see somebody running 100 miles in the wrong direction, headed for a collision course, do not hop in that vehicle with them. Put some distance between you and them, because what happens when somebody is drowning, right? Have you ever seen somebody that got in water and they can't swim or they drowning? Especially like if it's an adult. What's the first thing they do when you come up to try to help them and stop them from drowning? They will latch onto you with the strength of the jaws of life and hold on to you and push you down so they can get their head above water. They're not purposely trying to drown you. Now they are drowning you effectively because they are panicked. And when they are drowning, they will hold on to you and push you down so they can get air because they've been choking. They already distraught. And so that's why I say when somebody is running 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction, headed for a collision course, distance yourself, because when they end up in that collision, they will drag you down with them. They will. So yeah, man. I hope you guys been enjoying. I haven't really been reading none of the chat because I don't really be reading the chat like that when I'm rolling. But hopefully you guys taking away from this, and I appreciate you guys hitting up the likes. I think with all that I've gave you, the likes should be higher, but I'm thankful for the likes that I got. Appreciate you guys for hitting the like button. But I always try to kick some real game with you guys. Like, I want it to be entertaining, but I want it to be something that you can walk away with and use, or be motivated, or be reminded. Because some of this shit we already know. We just need to hear it and be reminded. Because sometimes we forget. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we start drifting astray. You know what I'm saying? Astray without really realizing. You know what I'm saying? But we already really know. And so, man, sometimes, man, I remember like when I used to be trying to do come up, out like coming up and shit, when I was kind of struggling, I would watch motivational videos, things that motivated me. Music, sometimes it can motivate me, but I would watch more like motivational shit, and it'd have me fired up. I'd be ready to go. And then I would try to feed off that momentum. I would feed off someone else's energy until I could find the strength to have my own energy. So I might have to watch something that motivates me, that drives me, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then now I can run off my own momentum. Like, okay, I'm getting this traction. I'm getting moving. Okay, now I'm full steam ahead. But like, find something that motivates you, man. Because remember, every day you wake up is an opportunity to paint on your canvas. Every day you wake up is an opportunity to paint on your canvas, and only you should dictate what that is going to look like, because you know we here for such a short time. You know what I'm saying? And even with like trying to get your finances together, man, be happy while you doing it. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the grind, because we so busy trying to get to the finish line, and when we get there, the beauty was in the whole process of getting there. You know, you done bypass all the trees and all the this and all that, and you ain't taking none of the beauty. And you got to the end, it's like, okay, I'm here, and it's like, where's the beauty? The beauty was the whole process of getting there. So remember, don't have a victim mentality. Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. Remember, I lost my car, and it was the best thing that happened to me at the time. You couldn't tell me that it was. Felt like it was the worst thing that happened to me, but it turns out it freed up my money and it allowed me to regroup and rebuild. Right? So let's just make like let's not have that victim mentality, you know what I'm saying? And let's not look at the glass half empty. Remember, things don't happen to you, they happen for you. You know what I'm saying? And so at least that's how I view things. And remember, the tongue, they say, can be used to cast spells. So if you keep saying you're not good enough, things don't ever work for you, I'm always here, I'll be having bad luck, you are casting these spells unbeknownst to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Speak the things that you want to be your reality. You know, speak those things into existence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah. So that's my belief system, and I feel my life has gotten stable. Been instead of like coming up, falling off, coming up, falling off. I've been able, you know what I mean? Because the worth ethnic was there, but my belief system, those all those things need to align. You know what I'm saying? That's like you can have an engine, but you ain't got no transmission. You're not going nowhere. You need both of those things to propel this vehicle forward. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, things ain't going life going right in your life. Not or this cop wouldn't have stopped me. This wouldn't have happened or this not. No, look at what you are doing, and that's only how you're gonna really make some corrections and really get some real movement. And then when you get the bag, because you're gonna get the bag if you put the worth ethic in it and you believe and you want enough. Just remember, getting the bag is half the battle. Keeping the bag is the other half. You know what I'm saying? And know that. Be careful what you ask for, because when you start getting this bag, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna start losing friends. You're gonna start losing family members. I mean, you're gonna start losing certain relationships, right? Because people are going to be like, you know, your success sometimes feels like a spotlight on someone else's failure. That's how people will perceive it. So you got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Be comfortable being uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's how you really get this real traction going, man. If you are comfortable, that means you ain't working hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. You ain't building enough. You're not growing. If you comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Be comfortable with being uncomfortable, because when you are uncomfortable, that means you are actively working to propel yourself forward. You know what I'm saying? And I just be like thinking like, oh, you don't really know who you talking to. I'm so driven. I mean, and I like to compete in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I'm pretty competitive. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody doubts me, I'll feed off of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm already driven. Concerned with Puff Daddy. You know, flipping on him. Absolutely, because ain't nobody gonna spend a life sentence if they can get that have the possibility of having a life again by throwing somebody else under the bus. You know what I mean? That's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? And but I really appreciate all my subscribers, everybody be in the chat. For the most part, you guys be amazing. about everything that's going in the space, let's also make sure might feel good about tearing down the bridge, but once you down, what happens if you need to cross it? You didn't tore it down. Part of building bridges instead of tearing them down. I'm pretty sure that my signal is probably not good right now, cause and then maybe I'll go back live again later. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it and took something away from this. It's your boy K9, No Fear Travel. Y'all stay blessed. Yay, yay.